Welcome to the SG Unite 2.4 instructional video. Be sure to pay attention as I explain the gameplay. Before that, here is some information about the card pack. Here are the different types of cards and their functions. Once a crisis card is drawn, the player is out of the game. However, this can be avoided using the following. A counter-response card, or an SG Unite combo, which is made up of the 6 different TD pillar cards. If the crisis is successfully resolved, the player remains in the game. Once a disruption card is drawn, the player should follow the instructions on the card before placing it in the discard pile. Each disruption card can be resolved with a specific TD pillar card, which will be demonstrated later. When a player plays a TD pillar card, the player should follow the instructions on the card before placing it in the discard pile. Each TD pillar card can also resolve a disruption by discarding the required TD pillar card in the discard pile. A counter-response card can be used to resolve a crisis card. The resolved crisis card can then be shuffled back into the draw pile. To form an SG Unite combo, the player needs to discard 6 different TD pillar cards when resolving the crisis. Other players can contribute their TD pillar cards to that player to form the combo as well. The objective of this game is to survive by finding ways to resolve the disruptions and crisis that occur during the game. Here's the setup of the game. First, remove the blank card and separate the cards according to colors. Deal 1 counter-response card to each player. Next, shuffle the TD pillar cards and deal 3 cards face down to each player. Shuffle the remaining cards face down. This deck is now known as the draw pile. The youngest player at the table starts first. Here's what to do during the game. The player can play a card from hand, follow the instructions on the card, and then place it face up in the discard pile. Do note that there is no limit to the number of cards a player can play. Players can still play the game with no cards in hand by drawing a card from the draw pile. Players can also draw a card without discarding any card from hand. The player's turn ends when the player draws a card from the draw pile. When a player draws a crisis card, that player must either resolve the crisis with a counter-response card or an SG Unite combo. If the player does not have either of these, the player is out of the game. Shuffle the crisis card randomly back into the draw pile and proceed with the next player's turn. If the crisis is resolved with a counter-response card, the player will shuffle the crisis card back into the draw pile and proceed with the next player's turn. If the crisis is resolved with an SG Unite combo, the player will remove the crisis card from play and proceed with the next player's turn. If a player draws a disruption card, the player can resolve the disruption with a TD pillar card. If the player is unable to do so, the player must follow the instructions at the bottom of the card as penalty. The gameplay continues until 1 player is left in play or there are no cards left in the draw pile. Now that you have learned how to play SG Unite 2.4, go out there and challenge your friends and family members. Have fun, and remember, together we keep Singapore strong.